everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel and to another 5 on Friday video. We're sitting on my couch because I was feeling lazy and didn't want to adjust my tripod or stand. So we're going to film this one from my couch today. So today's 5 on Friday video is 5 historical fiction novels that I want to read soon. I haven't been reading a ton of historical fiction like the past couple of months, and I'm really just feeling the itch to read some historical fiction. So I pulled 5 that I'm excited to get to off of my shelf, and I'm going to share those with you. They are in no particular order, so let's get into them. So book number 1 is actually the most recent historical fiction I have purchased. It is The Paris Hours by Alex George. I just got this in my May book of the month. It was an April selection, but there were so many books in April that I wanted that I couldn't get them all. So I got it for May. I really want to get to this because I just listened to The Paris Wife last month, which is the only historical fiction I've read like in the past couple months. And that follows Ernest Hemingway's first wife, Hadley Richardson. And this book, The Paris Hours, also has Ernest Hemingway in it. And just that time period, like the authors that came out of that time period in general, just is very interesting to me. I love reading about like the 1920s, and this book is set in 1927, and it follows like, I guess like the servant or like the maid of Marcel Proust, and she betrays him, and she has to like hide her betrayal, and so you see how that all unfolds, and I'm really excited to get to this hopefully soon. It's actually like really short. It's like 253 pages, so it'd be a quick read. I'm excited to get to it and see what it's all about. Historical fiction book number 2 is The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes, I think, or Moyes. I don't know how to say her name. This was actually on my historical fiction or Historathon TBR, and I just didn't get to it, and I'm really excited to. It sounds very interesting. This is about a woman who I believe like works for Eleanor Roosevelt's like traveling library system, and I don't know much about that at all, and I'm really excited to read this. I've read a couple Jojo Moyes' books before, and I enjoyed those, so yeah. I like learning about things that I don't know a lot about through novels, which is why I like historical fiction so much. So I really need to give this a go. Book number 3 is Becoming Bonnie by Jen L. Walsh. I'm pretty sure I got this on Book Outlet. And I don't know much about this. I've never heard anybody talk about it. I have no idea what its like average star rating on Goodreads is or anything like that. All I know is that this is also set in 1927, and it follows the woman who becomes it follows Bonnie, who becomes part of Bonnie and Clyde. And I'm definitely interested. I don't know a lot about like that duo other than, you know, what I think most like common knowledge is of Bonnie and Clyde, and I'm very interested to see how she becomes the woman that she becomes, because it says here like she lives the life of a mole at night and she remains a wholesome girl by day. Like, very interested to see how Bonnie becomes part of a very infamous duo. So we'll see. The last 2 books that I have were also part of my Historathon TBR that I did not get to, but I definitely want to get to both of these soon as well. The first one is Caroline, Little House Revisited by Sarah Miller. If you've watched a decent amount of my videos, you know that I grew up saturated with Little House because my mom really loves Little House. We visited all of the Little House museums. Not all, I don't know if we visited all of them. We visited a lot of the Little House museums. We read the books. Like, I grew up loving Little House. And so this focuses on the mother, Ma, from Little House. And I'm excited to see things through her perspective, because the Little House books are told from Laura's perspective and the perspective of a child, and seeing things through Caroline, I think, will be very interesting. And then the last book I'm going to talk about, book number 5, is Dear George, Dear Mary by Mary Calvi. This is about George Washington's first love. I have been watching Turn, which it was an AMC TV show that was about America's first spy ring. It's on Netflix. It is very interesting. I'm rewatching the first couple seasons, and then I'll be like watching the last 2 seasons. Very interesting. I love it. And I have found with that show in particular, it makes me want to just read all of the biographies, all of the nonfiction books I can find about these key players in the American Revolution. And so I have this book sitting on my shelf. This is a historical fiction, but it's about George Washington, who obviously plays a very big, very important role in the American Revolution. And he also has a very prominent role in the TV show Turn. And so I'm really feeling like this will probably be the first one I read, just because I'm watching this TV show right now and I'm just loving it. I'm really feeling like reading more about the American Revolution, and why not start with America's first president and the commander of the American Continental Army. So this is probably going to be the one I get to first, because I'm in the American Revolution mode. So there you have it, 5 historical fiction books I hope to get to soon, maybe in June, because June I feel is going to be like a mood reading month for me. And I tend to gravitate towards historical fiction stuff when I mood read. So we'll see, but let me know down below if you have read any of these, or you have these on your shelves. If you are interested in buddy reading, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.